to No Brainer MMA. What's going on, Dan?
Not much. Not
Not much.
much. Got bit by a dog.
Yeah, that's not some good luck you got there.
Yeah. I mean, last main card I didn't do too well either.
But a corner dog is what is it?
A corner dog is a dangerous dog.
And you must have been cornering that dog, man, because
No, I was being very nice.
were you like blowing into the dog's face? What were you doing?
I approached it, said his name, went to go pet him, and he just latched on. So I had to fucking. You might. I don't know if you could see it. I got a tetanus shot today. Got this all fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm on antibiotics and I'm on probiotics because the antibiotics are so strong. They're like, he needs probiotics too. It's fucked up.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And the dog won 0-1 against dogs.
0-1 against dogs.
Yeah, better luck next time.
Yeah.
All right, we have nothing to recap, so we're just gonna get right into this. UFC fight night, Cannonier versus Gastelum. First fight of the night, Roosevelt Roberts versus Ignacio Bahamondes.
I'll take this one if you're cool with it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, right out the gate.
Yeah, so Ignacio Bahamondes, he came in, looked great in that Contender Series fight, had a serious knockout. Came back and fought John Makdessi in his UFC debut. That is some strong competition to fight in your UFC debut. He got the split decision loss. He lost that fight.
He lost that. He got beat up, but he showed heart.
Yeah, he showed a lot of heart in that fight. Yeah, it was just, he's super young. He's 23 years old, and you're throwing him up against an absolute stud veteran. Like it's not gonna go that easy for you. He's a super lanky, striking 155er. He's fighting now. This time he's getting an opponent who's also lanky at 6'2" in Roosevelt Roberts. But I don't think that Roosevelt Roberts is on the level that Ignacio Bahamondes is, on the feet at the very least. I think this is a fight that the UFC set up for Bahamondes to win. We've all seen Roosevelt Roberts and have been kind of impressed and then not, a little bit of impressed and then not impressed. Like, he hasn't been very consistent. I'm gonna take Bahamondes, the young prospect. I always tend to lean with the younger prospects, but I'm going with the young prospect in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. Then Roosevelt Roberts 2-2-1 in his last 5, coming off a no contest with Kevin Kroom, where Kroom choked him out in 30 seconds, but
got choked out.
Yeah, he got choked, and then he got but Kroom failed the drug test for weed, so that's still a loss for Roberts in my book.
Yeah, those count as losses.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's coming off of 2 straight losses, but I couldn't. He is coming off of 2 straight losses.
Yeah, technically, but not really, because that fight he just got dismantled. He's finished 8 out of his 10 wins, 5 by sub. He's been subbed within the first 2 minutes of the first round in his last 2 fights. And it looks like his sub defense is questionable. He's going to be taking on Ignacio Bahamondes, 6'3", 23 years old, 76-inch reach, 155 pounds. Like, just a bizarre body type for the division.
I love it.
Mikey. Yeah, it's awesome. And I agree with you. I think the UFC wants to build this guy up. He's 1-1 under the UFC umbrella. He lost his last time out in his UFC debut, but that was John Makdessi, like you said, tough fight. And the fight was fire, by the way. It was fireworks.
Pretty fight.
Yeah, 8 out of his 11 wins have come by KO. This could be it for Roberts if he doesn't win. And we're talking about cornered dogs. Roberts, I think, is a cornered dog in this one. He needs to land takedowns if he wants to win, but I think this is a great bounce back matchup for Bahamondes. I say he stuffs takedowns and just lights him up.
Yeah.
It's
a UD or he puts him away with the
kick. But a fun fight to start the night.
Yeah, I was not too impressed with this card, but I liked the prelims a lot.
Yeah, the prelims are pretty fun. All right, so we're agreeing on that one. We're both going Ignacio Bahamondes. We're gonna move right into the next one: Bay Malecki versus Josanne Nunez, or B Malecki. Excuse me. B Malecki, 2-0 pro career. and UFC record. She started her career at 0-0 in the UFC, but she was on Ultimate Fighter 28. She lost her first fight and then went 2-0 against some pretty low-level competition. She's an interesting character. She's a Muay Thai champ, a mechanical engineer, and she has an OnlyFans, like really just hitting all the categories. She's got some pretty great striking, but her takedown defense is it needs some improvement.
Yeah, but she's getting out of Fortis MMA, I believe.
Yeah, that's great. There's a couple people fighting out of Fortis on this card.
Yeah.
She's taking on Josanne Nunez, 7-1 pro record, making her UFC debut. She has 6 wins by KO. I think the difference maker in this fight, in my opinion, is that Malecki is 7-inch reach advantage in height and reach advantage, 7 inches. And since I think this fight is definitely staying on the feet, I think Malecki gets it done in this one.
Yeah, so do I. I don't think that I watched some of Nunez's tape and she does get finishes. Like, don't get me wrong. Like she goes for the finish when she's fighting these ladies, but I like Malecki too. I feel like it's another fight where the UFC's like, I see money in this, you know, so they're gonna build her up slowly like they do with all their young prospects that they think they can make a bunch of money off of.
For sure.
So I'm gonna take Malecki as well. I know what's her record? 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
One loss in the Ultimate Fighter exhibition.
Yeah, like, but that was back in 2018. She's definitely improved since then.
Yeah, it's been a little. Yeah. What was I gonna say? She has got a 74-inch reach.
Yeah, I was gonna mention her. I love her reach.
Yeah.
Like, I never see that in any of the women's divisions.
No. Actually. And Nunez is 5'2". She belongs at flyweight. Not bad.
Yeah, she hits like a Mack truck.
Yeah, that is for sure. If she can drop the weight to 125, she'd be a threat.
Yeah.
Threat for the top 20.
She's a little too short for the division. I can agree. But she does have like some Jessica Andrade in her.
Oh yeah, like you think like slams.
Yeah, like just the low center of gravity and all that shit.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, but we're both agreeing. We're both going B Malecki in this one. We're going to move right into the next one.
Yeah, if you want it.
Yeah, I got this one. Sasha Plitnikov. He has a 3-6 record, 1-1 in the UFC, losing his last time out against Impa Kasaganai. He's a striker and former AFC middleweight champion, averaging 7.6 strikes per minute at 52% accuracy over the course of his first 2 fights. Also 80% takedown defense. He's taken on Brahimaj, who's 2-3 in his last 5. Also lost his UFC debut in his last time out against Max Griffin, though. He was KO'd in the 3rd, I believe, in that Max Griffin fight. All of his wins have come by KO also, with 7 of them coming in the first round.
Yeah.
And all losing when the fight goes the distance or goes into like the 3rd round. But he's the former international BJJ No G world champ. Both of Plitnikov's opponents were able to take him down, and Brahimaj is strong and crafty on the ground, and I think might be able to sub Sasha in this one.
Interesting take. Sasha, I feel like he's got some good striking, but like I've questioned his chin. I feel like on like the last time we broke him down. Yeah, I think that was the Impa Kasanganai fight. I remember taking Impa and being so happy that he won because everybody was just gonna remember him from getting spinning wheel kick knocked out.
Right.
But he brought it back.
No, he's good still. That was just one knockout. Just happened to be knockout of the year.
Yeah. But yeah, Sasha Plitnikov, he likes to stand up. And he'll work his clinch game in there as well. This was one of the tougher ones on the prelims for me, honestly.
Yeah, this one's tough.
Like in my notes, I'm like, I don't even know. I'm gonna take Sasha as an underdog. I just
What's that number look like?
What?
What's that? What? Yeah.
It's super even. It's like plus 115, plus 100. Nothing.
I would say that's about right, dude. Like that's.
This fight was very tough to call. So
Yeah.
sorry for my indecisiveness, but yeah, this fight was very tough to call. I don't know.
This is like a striker grappler type situation going on right now.
Yeah, I think Politnikov is able to keep it again. I question his chin, but at the same time, he's got some pretty good striking,
Yeah, he does have good striking, but yeah, he was knocked down in that first fight and then just like taken down in the second.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're gonna disagree on that one. Dan's going Politnikov. I'm going Brahmanaj, and we're gonna move right into the next one. Brian Kelleher versus Domingo Pilarte. You want this one, Dan? You want me to take it?
I could take it if you want.
Yeah, all you.
Yeah, we got Brian Boom Kelleher. That's the name, right?
Where's he from? He's from Long Island, dude. You backing him?
Yeah, he's from Selden, New York.
Yeah, that's why everyone bets against him. Get it?
He does train like 10 minutes away from us. Yeah, he's coming off of the loss to Ricky Simone, which honestly wasn't too surprising,
Yeah, Simone's elite.
Kelleher is like 2020, since like the beginning of 2020, he's been super active in the UFC, and I really like that out of him. Domingo Pilarte is what happened in the Journey Newsom fight. I didn't put it in my notes.
Yes, I have that actually. Journey Newsom KO'd him in the first like 30 seconds, right?
He got KO'd.
Yeah. Pilarte got KO'd, and then Newsom got popped for weed, so it got.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, I knew somebody got knocked out. I didn't want to say the wrong guy, so that's why I went to you. So many fights, and my head's already fucking scrambled eggs. But I like Kelleher striking against Pilarte, honestly. I think that he's able to catch him with something and maybe like latch onto his patented guillotine after he drops him. Like, I could very well see that happen. So I'm gonna take the local native and Brian Boom Kelleher in this one.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna agree with you on this one, Dan. Brian Kelleher, 3-2 in his last 5. He's dropping back down to bantamweight. No, excuse me. He's going back up to featherweight. He fought after fighting 4 fights at 135. That is right. Yeah, I actually like him better at 145. That's where he got all those wins in 2020. But I don't know why he's going back to featherweight. I think bantamweight. I like him at 145.
I think that's more of his natural weight class, though.
Bantamweight? Do you think so? I mean, he's not tall. He's not a tall big guy. He's got a minus 1.5 striking differential at 39% accuracy, 1 takedown per fight, 59% accuracy. He's finished 18 of his 22 wins, 10 by sub, 8 by KO. He's taken on Domingo Pilarte, 3-1-1 in his last 5, coming off that first round KO loss from Journey Newsom. And who's Journey Newsom, dude? He's not that special. And you got just whopped by him. Yeah. He has a split decision win over Adrian Yanez in the LFA. And
but Yanez is just improving at such a fast rate.
Yeah, and he hasn't. This guy Pilarte hasn't showed us anything. With his UFC, as long like we're looking at his UFC career, he hasn't showed us anything at all. He also has a minus 1.6 striking differential at 50% accuracy, 2 takedowns per fight at 42% accuracy. And he's gonna have a 7-inch reach advantage over Kelleher. This fight's tough, but both guys like to grapple. Kelleher is the more well-rounded, and I think he's got the punching power and experience. So I'm going to go with Kelleher in this one.
Yeah, I really like the left hook to dropping him to jumping on the guillotine.
Yes. He's a gamer, and he knows how to win.
Yeah.
So there's both of us right there going Kelleher. Love to see it.
Yeah. I'll take the next one too.
Yeah, we're gonna move right into the next one. Luis Saldana versus Austin Lingo.
Yeah. So Luis Saldana is coming off of his UFC debut after an amazing Contender Series performance against Vince Murdoch. He won his UFC debut. We all thought Jordan Griffin. Like, do you remember that fight?
Yeah, Jordan Griffin did not.
Jordan Griffin won that fight.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of like how I don't know how that was unanimous. Like I took Saldana, I had money down on Saldana, but I didn't think like I was like ready to be like fuck, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like I thought he lost, but hey, that's some valuable cage time against a guy who has some serious UFC experience.
That's for sure. He doesn't have many wins, but he's got experience.
Yeah. He's fighting Austin Lingo. He's coming off a win over Jacob Kilburn. He made his UFC debut against Yusuf Zalal, lost a unanimous decision. No surprise there. We all kind of saw that coming, you know. He's a pretty fairly well-rounded martial artist. He can strike and he can grapple. He can he's shown ability to finish fights on the ground. But he had a streak where he was in the LFA from November of 2018 to August of 2019. It was a 3-fight winning streak. I mean, he was still undefeated, but during those 3 fights, the fights went 13 seconds, 25 seconds, and 25 seconds again. 2 finishes via punches, and then 1 finish via rear naked choke. So this guy can finish a fight early, but I think as the fight wears on against a guy like Saldana, who I'm a fan of, I like his striking. He's got a unique style to him himself. I think that Saldana is able to edge out a victory in this one. Like the Griffin fight was close. I think he's going to be improved from that. He did lose that fight on my card, but I'm gonna take Saldana in this one. I think that he bounces back and impresses in this one, at least more than he did in the last one.
Yeah, Luis Saldana 5-0 in his last 5, 2-0 under the UFC umbrella. Had luck on his side in that Jordan Griffin fight, like you said.
That was a robbery, man. That was like, you know, just straight up robbery.
Tough to see. And Jordan Griffin needs wins. Give the man a fucking win.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of surprised in Saldana's performance, because he had a decent amount of hype coming in because of that his Contender Series fight.
Yeah, he looked amazing in that.
And the way he didn't really perform against someone like Griffin, who's like kind of lower level competition in the UFC. I don't know. It's just not really a good look. He's finished 14 of his 15 fights, 8 by sub. Actually, that Griffin fight was his first ever decision victory. He's taken on Austin Lingo, who's 1-1 in the UFC, lost his UFC debut. Yusuf Zalal, gonna happen, like you said, Dan. Bounced back with a unanimous decision win over who was that? Jacob Kilburn.
Yeah,
and, he had 2 26-30s on the judges scorecard in that one.
Yeah, he had the knockdown. He had a takedown in there. He had a good performance.
Definitely.
That was on the Holloway versus Qatar card, I believe.
Oh, that was a good one. What a fight! I need Holloway again. Where the hell is he?
Yeah, we need some Max Holloway up.
Yeah. Both guys are super well-rounded and can get wins on the ground and the feet. But Saldana has over doubled the fights of Lingo. I really like his striking. He's quick. He gets out of the way of a lot. Doesn't take too much damage. He had a little hiccup in his last time out, but I think he's going to learn from that, and he's going to keep his streak going and just bounce back performance wise.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're both going Luis Saldana in that one. We're going to move right into the next one. William Knight, Fabio Cherant. You want me to take this one, Dan?
Yeah, you got this. I got the last two.
All right, cool. First, let me say Fabio Cherant, 0-2 in the UFC, getting KO'd by Alessi Camor and was subbed almost like instantly by Alonzo Metafield. He wins mostly by sub, but he has yet to get a takedown in the UFC. He's taken on William Knight, 3-2 in his last 5, +1 striking differential, 74% accuracy, a lot of ground strikes, and 2.5.
Yeah, that's ground strikes for you.
Yeah, and 2.5 takedowns per fight. That explains it at 53% accuracy. Lost his last time out against Dao Jung, and that was like, you had Jung, Dan, and that was he just beat the piss out of him. He was able to like keep his distance from Knight, tire him out, and then as soon as he was tired, he just took him down at will. You know, that was like generally what happened. But I think this is a great bounce back fight for Knight. I don't think Cherant is UFC caliber competition, so I'm definitely going my boy William Knight in this one.
I'm gonna take our boy William Knight as well.
I don't think I ever have said if William Knight is gonna lose. Out of all the picks that we've done for him, I don't think.
I'm just saying this guy lost to Alonzo Metafield via Von Flu choke. Like,
who does he think he is?
Like his grappling is not anywhere near UFC caliber. Let's be real here. Yes. And William Knight's going to take him down and use his 74% strike accuracy. I think that's what's really going to happen. We're going to see a lot of clinch work. William Knight gets the win here. He either finishes
knees to thighs, holding up against the fence, and William Knight just kneeing him in the thighs for a couple of minutes. Yeah, that one's an open and shut case. Both going William Knight. Gonna move right into the next one. Mana Martinez versus Trevin Jones. Want me to take this one, Dan?
I got this one. I'm gonna make mine short and sweet.
Kill it, kid.
I believe in Trevin Jones in every single fight that he's in. I don't care how better the competition is. He is going to hit you with that right fucking hook, and he's gonna drop you. Mana Martinez, this guy's got a bright future. He's 25 years old. Good. And he's looked good in a couple of his fights. He lost to Draco Rodriguez in a Contender Series fight last year in September, but he bounced back with 2 wins in Fury FC. So both of those wins were a minute or less. So he really showed that he's like, I want to be in the UFC. Yeah. So this guy's definitely got that flair, and I want to see. This fight's going to be interesting because it's going to stay on the feet, but I think Trevin Jones clips him and puts him away.
Yeah, I'm going to make a statement before mine too, Dan. If there's one guy you don't want taking a fight on short notice, it's Trevin Jones. This guy performs under like the pressure. Pressure makes diamonds. Jinx. Pressure makes diamonds, and that's Trevin Jones. Trevin Diamond Jones. Get yourself a nickname, kid. Courtesy.
Yeah.
No Brainer MMA. And he's taken this fight, of course, on short notice. Now all three of his UFC fights coming short notice fights. And in all honesty, I think this might be his best matchup so far. He's fought a lot of tough guys so far in the UFC.
Yeah, I got kicked for a second, I think. I didn't hear a good amount of that, but I heard the end of it. I like this match.
Yeah.
Jones.
Awesome. He's taken on Mana Martinez, who lost his UFC debut to Draco Rodriguez, like Dan said. Actually, I think that was a Contender Series fight, right?
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, he lost his UFC debut to Draco Rodriguez. And we found out, like,
Contender Series fight,
excuse me. Draco Rodriguez, like, he's lost a couple. He hasn't really looked too great, honestly, in the UFC. 8 out of 8 of Martinez's wins have come by KO and 5 in the first round. He's only gone to decision once in a split decision loss. Both guys are tough. I don't think I see a finish here, but I think Jones will be able to get the win and ruin Martinez's UFC debut.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Trevin Jones, right hook from hell. I think he's like Poirier. He stands southpaw, but he's a righty.
That's sick. And also, he has a great gas tank for a guy that like punches like with such power. Usually, like you run out of steam quick. No,
I mean, bantamweight, so
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm just curious to see what Martinez looks like in the later rounds. You know,
yeah,
he never goes. He never needs to go.
Yeah. I don't know if this fight makes it to the later round.
Really? You think Jones puts him away? That's always possible.
The right hook from hell.
Yeah, but we're both going Trevin Diamond Jones in this one. Gonna move right into the next one. Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. You're cracking up on me a little bit, Dan.
I said for Guam, Trevin Jones.
Yeah, from Guam. I forgot that he's from Guam. But we're gonna move right to the next one. Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. This fight I'm most excited for. Possible fight of the night. Alexander Pantoja, 3-2 in his last 5. Both losses coming from top 3 competition, in my opinion, in Davison Figueiredo and Askar Askarov. And by the way, both of those fights, although they were unanimous decision losses, were very close and super hard fought. He fights out of ATT, very well rounded. He's got great punching power for a flyweight with a +9 striking differential at 47% accuracy and 1 takedown per fight at 35% accuracy and 68% takedown defense. He's taken on Brandon Royval, 4-1 in his last 5. The flyweight roster depth really made him blow up and crack the top 10 like almost immediately. And he's shown that he deserves it. He's 2-1 in the UFC, and his last fight he was KO'd by Brandon Moreno, who's the champ now. So you can't.
He did get injured in that fight.
He did. He also has a +0.9 striking differential at 46% accuracy. He's finished 11 of his 12 wins, but 4 of his 5 losses have come by decision. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen in this. I think Pantoja just outpoints Royval in this one. But this fight just shows how highly they think of Royval, with the UFC feeding him to Moreno, Kai Kara France, and Tim Elliott, and now Pantoja as his first. At his first 4 fights, he's just getting fed to the like. He'll bounce back. He'll be back for sure. I really like Brandon Royval, but Alexander Pantoja right now, I think, is able to get this one done.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. Like you said, like the losses to Figueiredo and Askarov on paper, like
what is that?
Like unanimous decision losses. Like he's not under level, but like this guy is one of the best flyweights on the planet.
Correct. Yep. Totally.
He struggled in that last fight against Manel Cape. He won the fight, but that just shows how good Cape is, or Cop, and how big. I'm very big on Manel Cop, so
yeah,
I'm a huge.
I thought it was Cape. It's Cop.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll say both.
I'm gonna mix up what I call him. I'm just gonna call him Manel. So anyway, like that just showed how good Manel is. The flyweight division is definitely on the upswing. I would love to see Manel move forward in the future.
Yeah,
like
sure.
That was his first fight in the UFC and took that on short notice. Like that is not an easy fight by any means.
No.
This is a fight that more fits his Pantoja's level with Brandon Royval, but I still think he gets it done. Like you said, he outpoints it. He's well rounded. He's just a great flyweight overall. He's been in the UFC for a while now, and he's been very active, rarely losing. Yeah, like since 2019, he's lost twice. I mean, to be fair,
he fights like a lot,
but like he's lost twice. Like they put away Matt Schnell, knocked him out, put out Wilson Reyes, and he outpointed Manel Cape. So I'm gonna take Pantoja in this as well.
Dude. I totally agree. I really like Pantoja in that one. And we're agreeing. We're both going Panto. I can't talk. We're both going Pantoja. We're gonna move right into the next one. Vince Pichel versus Austin Hubbard.
It's all you. And the next one.
You
I don't
got
want
it, dog.
any.
This is my lock of the night, by the way.
Interesting.
I don't often do lock of the night, but Austin Hubbard, 3-3 in the UFC. Not too bad when you look at it, but all three of his wins in the UFC, his opponents had a total 0 combined wins, UFC wins. So he basically loses to the good guys and he beats like the guys towards the bottom. Also in his 3 losses, he was taken down 11 times. I think you know where I'm going with this one. Vince Pichel, 6-2 in the UFC, with both losses coming from grapplers and Gregor Gillespie and Rustam Kablov, who where the hell has he been? I haven't seen him in like a couple of years, and he was sick. Pichel averages 3.8 takedowns per fight at 60% accuracy, and like I said, Hubbard, when he gets taken down, he loses the fight. He's got a +1. Also, he has a +1 striking differential, Pichel, which is impressive for being a grappler.
Yes.
This one's open and shut for me. I'm looking at a Pichel lock right here.
Yeah, you know what? I'll ride the coattails of what you said. That's basically sums it up, you know? Like,
Yeah,
Vince Pichel he's a beast.
he's a beast.
32 overall record. I know he's 38 years old, but like fucking he's gonna pump out some fights before he's done.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like he's been fighting in the UFC for so long, but like he had that like 3-year layoff.
Yeah.
He beat Anthony Njokuani, who at one point I thought Anthony Njokuani was going to be like a champion. Like crazy. Like
What a time.
Yeah, that was back in like 2012, 2013.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, I'm gonna take Vince Pichel as well.
Stylistically, this is not a good matchup for Austin Hubbard, and we're both going to agree. We're both going to go Vince Pichel. We're going to move right into the next one. Also, me, right, Dan? Chase Sherman versus Parker Porter. I might be the only person that's excited for this. And you might look at these guys and be like, oh my, like this is gross. This is actually like gonna be a good fight, I think. Chase Sherman
around.
Chase Sherman knows I mean he's fought like all over the UFC.
The gorilla.
Yeah, the Vanilla Gorilla. He's fought in the UFC a while ago, bare knuckle, island fights, and then he made his debut back. And has since gone 1-1 in the UFC. 14 of his 15 wins have ended by KO. He averages 6 strikes per minute at 45% accuracy, 77% takedown defense. His game is one-sided, but when you're a heavyweight, you know, you're allowed to be one-sided. He's taken on Parker Porter, who's 1-1 in the UFC too. He's fought tough competition though. Much tougher competition than Sherman, in my opinion, and Chris Daukaus and Josh Parisian. And he actually beat Josh Parisian, who's 3-1 in the UFC right now. So he hasn't had an easy time in the UFC.
That was like my shock of the year.
Dude, so shocking. And then after you're like, who the hell, like Parker Porter? Like, we got to give this guy another shot. You know what I mean?
I wrote him off after his first fight.
I know, and I feel like I did too. I feel so bad because he's like, that was great. That was a great performance he had against a really tough guy. Like I said, he hasn't had an easy time in the UFC, but he's shown that he belongs. He's well-rounded. He's more well-rounded than Sherman by a lot. He has 4 sub wins, 4 KO wins, and actually has a decent gas tank for a guy his size. His best round in that Parisian fight was the 3rd round. He averages 7.7 strikes per minute at 50% accuracy, 1.6 takedowns per fight at 60% accuracy. I really like Porter in this. I think he's just better wherever the fight goes. But Sherman can always just catch him. You know, he's a big boy, and then the big boys go to sleep a lot. Yeah, the big boys always go to sleep.
Yeah, Chase Sherman fought Andre Arlovsky in a fight that I was like, this fight is definitely getting finished, and it didn't get finished. You know, like there's those fights that happen. We've all watched, or just like no way, this is going to the scorecards, and then it goes to the scorecards, like that was what I thought of his last fight. But he did finish Ike Villanueva in his fight previous to that. I'm gonna go Sherman in this fight, but I'm gonna say this is my stay away from fight of the night. After watching the tape, these guys are too unpredictable, and the heavyweight division is very volatile as it is. So I'm going to go Chase Sherman, but I am saying stay away from this one. I wouldn't advise you to touch this fight with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, unless the odds are like really favorable in Parker Porter's favor, then
they're like plus 180, plus 150 or something like that.
All right, then yeah, I probably am gonna bet on this one if I'm being honest. I like Porter.
Porker?
What'd you say?
You're Porker?
Parker, remember when I said that?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, that was like the first time. Maybe I can find that clip and put it up. It was literally like after I like posted it and everything, I'm rewatching like a couple of like picks, and I'm like literally out of my mouth. I'm like, all right, so Parker Porker is taking on. It's like this slap in the face. I'm sorry, Parker. You're a nice guy. I'm taking you with this one. I'm riding that plus 180 all the way to the fucking bank. We're gonna move right. We're disagreeing. We're gonna move right into the next one. Clay Guida versus Mark Madsen. Me or you, kid?
I'll take the main.
Hell yeah, Clay Guida 2-3 in his last 5, 4 months away from 40, but really surprised me in his last time out. He got the win over Michael Johnson. I thought Michael Johnson was gonna get back on the right side of a decision or something, but he wasn't.
Michael Johnson doesn't have it no more.
Yeah,
man.
He don't. That is for sure. 2 out of his last 3 losses have come by submission. He looks, I hate to say, he looks a little bit slow. Who knows how much longer he'll be in the UFC. Like, I feel like once you hit a certain age, the UFC just cuts with you if you can't, if you're not bringing in enough fans or whatever. So this could be his last fight. Who knows?
I think this is a send-off fight.
Yeah, and with the UFC feeding him to a guy like Mark Madsen, it looks like the writing's on the wall.
Yeah,
Madsen's a 10-0 Olympian, 2-0 in the UFC. Guida isn't a slouch whatsoever with his wrestling.
No, he's a fantastic. He's got the wrestling background. You know?
A fantastic wrestler, but Madsen has the edge, and I'm going Madsen all day in this one.
Yeah, as am I. I think that Madsen just is able to take him down.
Yeah.
Or I don't think this is a great fight. I could see it just a lot of time grinding against the cage.
A lot of clinch.
A lot of clinching, but I think Madsen's the stronger of the two.
Yeah.
And he just brings it down to the ground.
I totally agree. That one was short and sweet. We're both going Mark Madsen. Gonna move right into the main event. I'm pretty excited for this one. Jared Cannonier versus Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, Kelvin Gastelum is just stepping up on short notice everywhere, just fighting the cream of the crop of the division.
Dude, yeah, he's got to be like the toughest guy in the UFC right now.
Yeah, literally, like
monsters.
Dude, like he fought Robert Whittaker in April, and now he's just like, fuck it, I'll take this on short notice too. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. This is why I love me some Kelvin Gastelum.
You can't not like him. He's like one of the most fan favorited fighters, right? He's got to be.
Yeah,
you can't not like this guy.
And honestly, I think he's got a solid chance in this fight. Yeah. I mean, I do like Jared Cannonier. The reverse rumble, as I like to people like to call.
I like that.
Yeah, he just been a beast at middleweight, but I feel like it was only a couple fights, and like he had that win over Anderson Silva, which was
right.
It was in 3, and then he knocked out Jack Hermanson. I get it, but like in the Bobby Knuckles fight, I mean, Bobby Knuckles is a fucking beast. So like, you can't take nothing away from Cannonier losing to Robert Whittaker, but he did get dropped and almost finished,
Yeah, well, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's really gonna come down to I don't think Gastelum has a fucking chin and a half.
Oh
That's
my God, a chin of granite.
yeah. So I think that he's gonna he's gonna try to tie Cannonier up and bring it down to the ground. Gastelum is, and Gastelum can strike, but it's just like Cannonier's got just ridiculous power in both of his hands, honestly.
Yeah, his hands are heavy.
He is not, he came in as a heavyweight, which is crazy,
Wild.
It's like, this is like, I'm having a tough time. Like, I had a really tough time calling this main event. I'm at the end of the day, I'm gonna take Cannonier, but this is another, I wouldn't bet on the main event. I would just sit back and watch it. Like people were saying like, oh, Jared Cannonier's next. I mean, he had some big wins, don't get me wrong, but like his experience to the middleweight division is like his experience in the middleweight division is very small,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take Cannonier, but this fight is where we're really gonna see where he's at, because Kelvin Gastelum is a rock,
Exactly. Yeah, dude. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Kelvin Gastelum is the best fighter who is 1-4 in his last 5. Since joining the UFC in 2013, he's fought basically only monsters at 185. He's a little undersized for the division. He's 5'9". He makes up for it a little bit with that 72-inch reach. He's extreme. He's thick. He's extremely tough. 5 of his last 6 fights have gone to decision. He's taken on a killer in Jared Cannonier, who's 3-2 in his last 5 and 3-1 since dropping back to 185, or down to 185. He has a 5-inch reach advantage. Definitely has the punching power advantage. Getting 3 KOs. Also since moving to 185, all 3 of his wins have been KOs. And I really feel bad for Gastelum, but I think after this Saturday, he's going to be the best and maybe like only fighter in the UFC that's 1-5 on the UFC roster. But I'm going Jared Cannonier in this one.
Yeah, so am I. It's a tough one though. Gaston might get it by wearing him out.
Dude, dog. What are the odds on this one?
I think let's see.
Cannonier is definitely the favorite.
Cannonier's a -150 on DraftKings, -172 on FanDuel. So Kelvin Gastelum's 140, 130 underdog. He's not a bad underdog to take.
Yeah.
I'm curious on what the over-under on this would be.
3.5, I would say.
Yeah, if it was 2.5, I would maybe say like, I would think about riding the over. If it was 1.5, I would definitely ride the over.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be 3.5 because Gastelum goes to decision like every fight. 5 out of his last 6 fights have gone to decision.
They're throwing his chin into the mix too, like his granite chin.
I cannot, like, he's in the conversation like Nate Diaz, Max Holloway, Kelvin Gastelum, if we're talking chins. You know what I mean? That's the list.
See?
Then burn the list. All right. We're done.
Else.
We're done, Dan, right?
Yeah, I think that wraps us up.
Yeah, that wraps it up. We're calling it quits. No brainer MMA signing off.
I don't know. Rest in peace, Nick. I just want to dedicate this to the homie Nick Scott. I love you, brother. Passed away this last Saturday. I just dedicate this one for you, bro.
Yeah.